got a million to sell.
The One Show, they're actually interviewing me, all because of the videos we've been doing. I've no idea who predicted me. Hi folks, we hope you're keeping well. We're delighted to announce that we've made the finals of the Football Content Awards, aren't we, Jane?
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone who nominated us.
Thank you. Now, the next stage is to win the thing. We'd really appreciate it if you could just spare 1 minute to vote for us at the link below.
The award we are up for is Best New Content Creator.
Now, it's not compulsory to vote in every category, so don't worry if you're not sure who to vote for in the other categories.
Just vote for us. Just vote for us. Is it like the Oscars, Jane?
Yeah, I guess it is. It's like the Oscars of the football content creators world.
Here's a quick recap of some of the content we've produced for you since the channel was created last year. It's going to get bigger and bigger, pal. 16,000 there today. 1,000 with you the other week. Look at that. I'll just let you watch them because I just can't talk at the moment. I'm getting too filled up. I'm here with Fleetwood Town's #1 vlogger. It's called Cod's Vlogs and I follow him and he's absolutely amazing. This young kid is going to go places. He's called Ben.
Oh, it's absolutely lashing down. But the fans are livid, calling for Grayson's head. I think we're kind of not putting up with it anymore. It's a bit upsetting, really. You don't want to see that kind of reaction. We can't keep putting up with it every week. So.
We really appreciate it.
If it's on telly, people say, oh, it's your best game.
Yeah, but they didn't see the games on TV. Yeah, I get that. I mean, obviously nowadays we see every game, don't we?
At the beginning of the boycott, I vowed never to wear this again until we were back in the ground.
Got it right last week. 3-1 to the pool. Feedy will get 2. Kai will get 1.
This is the family away end, and we've got a PlayStation with FIFA. It's not on today, the FIFA one, but we've got a shooting challenge game.
Right. Get one of them in.
Oh. Well, you can't beat last minute goals in extra injury time. Finally, we're coming out happy. Woo!
We hope you enjoy our channel. We're always looking at ways to improve the content we produce for you and are always happy to take on board constructive feedback, aren't we, Jane?
We are indeed. Even though there's no football at the moment, we've adapted. We do a weekly live stream at 3 o'clock on a Saturday where football fans from all over the world come in and chat with us about everything from the Bundesliga to Banana Blossom.
Banana Blossom?
Don't ask. And we host a football quiz live every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
The deadline for voting in the Football Content Awards is midnight on Thursday the 8th of June, so get voting.
Yeah, please vote for Lee Charles TV as Best New Content Creator. It really would mean the world to me and Lee.
It would. Thank you for watching and for voting from Lee
and Jane at
Lee Charles TV. And here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Lee Charles TV at 3 on a Saturday Live. We've got lots to talk to you about today. We're going to say hello to a few people. Let's have a look who we have got in. Let's have a look. Let's say hi to a few people. Stephen Smart. Hello, Stephen. We're both well. Liam. Just got a signed shirt from Blackpool.
Oh, wow,
fantastic.
brilliant.
How have you managed to do that? That's
Got the retail outlet up and running again, haven't they now?
Rob's in from Brighter State of Mind Hypnotherapy. Hiya, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
He's got a channel that I'm working with. We're doing videos together. He's a hypnotherapist from Scotland, a Blackpool fan. And if you need any sort of, if you need relaxing or anything like that, he's got some great hypnotherapy things on there already that we've been doing.
Yeah, we're sleeping very well, aren't we?
Yeah, we are sleeping well. Yeah, it's all down to Rob and Brighter State of Mind Hypnotherapy. Let's have a look.
Josh Ayres is here. Hello, Josh.
Oh, hello, Josh. Hi.
Tangerine Dan. Hello.
Oh, Ross is here from the Philippines. So hi to Ross. Hi to Andrea.
Mystic Andrea.
Hope you're well. Yes, Mystic Andrea, of course. Paul Maynard. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Mr. Molly's
Yay!
back again. Molly's back.
Molly is back. Hello. We missed you on Tuesday, Mr. Molly.
Dennis is here. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Ryan Dunbar, hi.
Heidi, hi,
Heidi, hi. Heidi, hi. Why, hoody ho, yes.
Oh, Liam won his shirt in a competition.
Oh, right.
Excellent. Brilliant.
What was the competition? Let us
Yeah, what
know.
did
We
you do
need
to
to
win the
know. We need to
competition?
know.
Dan's gutted that Nangelay's gone.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
We were kind of expecting it, weren't we? Because we knew his contract was up at the end of the season, and he's, he's left us before. A couple of years ago, he left us to join at a club in was it South Africa, and he had to come back because they'd gone over their overseas players' quota. Quota? Is that even? That's not even a word. Is it?
Quota.
Quota. Yes. So he came back. We said we'd have him back, but did he ever really want to come back? I don't know. But we got a few goals out of him, didn't we? Was it 18
We
goals
did.
he got?
Who would you like as a replacement for Nangelay? I wouldn't mind that Morgan Ferrier from Tranmere if we get him. I thought he was a great player. Scored against us in both games, home and away, and looked the business, I thought.
Oh, well, interesting news on that front. Peterborough have said they have to sell Ivan Toney, who's got 26 goals this season, top scorer in our league, as we know from the quiz the other week, but I'm not quite sure. I think they wanted £11 million for him in January, so they'll obviously have to come down a little bit. I'm not quite sure he's in our league, but it'd be nice.
A few more hellos. Scotty Martin, Mr. Blackpool FC. David Scholes, hi David.
Hi David. Kev from Chase Towns
Kev
here.
from
Hello.
Chase. Oh, he won it on
Towns.
eBay, like Liam, right? Yes, Nanda's leaving does hurt a little bit, to be honest.
It does, but in Critchley we trust.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge replacement. He was really fair in this division, but
Don't forget we've got Joe Nussell and Gary Medine goal machine. We've got Ryan Hardy back now.
Oh gosh, yes, we're sorted, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are they back? Have we seen the retained list? Have we got the retained list?
Yes, I have got the retained list.
Jane's got the retained list for
I'm
you. So
prepared.
Ednam, hi Ednam.
Just
Mazzini 3210. Hi to both of you. Hi Mazzini.
I keep meaning to ask Mazzini, are you Italian? Because we had a chat about Italy the other week. No chance. I know we've got no chance with Tony, but we can dream, can't we? What's football if you haven't got dreams? Rangers are interested in Tony, apparently, according to Ryan.
Oh, are they? Yeah, I bet everybody's interested.
Yeah, just quickly to go through Blackpool's retain list. So we've triggered the options on Liam Feeney and Michael Nottingham, who's been doing very well out on loan. I'm sure he's thrilled about that. We've offered new contracts to Chris Maxwell. Is he the goalkeeper that we like?
We like him. You like.
Jay Spearing, who obviously the manager knows from way back when, and Ollie Turton, who's Mr. Utility Man. Leaving, we have Miles Boney, Yusufu Sisse, Armand Nangelay, as we've mentioned, Sean Graham, don't even know who he is, Mark Howard, Chris Mafumbi, Sean Scannell, Owen Watkinson, don't know who he is either.
Didn't really rate Scannell.
I think there's a couple of goalkeepers in there because we did have about 5 goalkeepers, which was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Jack Annick's also gone back. All our loan players, Jack Annick, Mark Bowler, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Ben Hennigan, Taylor Moore and Conor Ronan, they've all gone back to their parent clubs. But hopefully, it would be nice to think that we could get 1 or 2 of those back. I'd certainly love to see Conor Ronan and Ben Hennigan sign up. That would be lovely. And I'm not quite sure. Maybe get Dewsbury Hall and Taylor Moore back on loan as they're sort of,
that'd be great.
Moore seems to go out on loan a lot, and Dewsbury Hall was
he enjoyed his time, didn't he? He said he enjoyed his time.
Yeah.
Just let us down a bit on FIFA, but apart from that, he was great.
And the players that remain under contracts, so we've still got the Fonz, of course. We didn't mention him, did we, when we mentioned our forward options? Jamie Devitt, Ryan Edwards, still here. Those are all still here. Jamie Devitt, Ryan Edwards, Ben Geraghty, Ryan Hardy, Teddy Howe, James Husband, Sully Kai, of course.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he is exciting. Callum McDonald, Gary Medine, Goal Machine, Joe Nuttall, Nathan Shaw, Jack Sims, the young goalkeeper, Jordan Thornley, Matty Virtue, Grant Ward, and Adi Yusuf. So we've still got a decent number of players there.
We never saw anything of that Adi Yusuf, did we? We didn't really get to. He went out on loan, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Jerry Yates, Fernando, says Scotty Martin. Jerry Yates. I don't know. I can't think who that is. Who's
Tell
he
us
with?
more.
Tell us more about Jerry Yates, Scotty. We need to know. Adam Clark says Blackpool FC are going up next season. And I'm begging for the chair boys to smash the cards and make me feel 10 times happy.
Well, we've got to support Ben, haven't we? And at least we've got to say we support Ben, haven't we? How we'd actually feel if Fleetwood got promoted we will be pleased for Ben, obviously. But it would be quite painful actually to see Fleetwood division higher. Mr. Moley says Nan's too often flattered to deceive. Probably won't remember too long by many, not least because he played mostly during Not Penny More. Best moment goal in
the playoff semi at Luton, perhaps. Yeah, that was a very valuable goal, wasn't it? But like I say, it was when we were all sort of in Not a Penny More. So I remember watching the final in the Cherry Tree. I watched it in there. I mean, I was not a penny more, but I still wanted Blackpool to win. I was pacing around in that game, even though I wasn't all that bothered. I was still bothered, if you know what I mean. I still wanted us to go up.
But he was still the first big striker who's really impressed me since Dave Bamber. So yeah. I did like him.
Jane's favourite big striker since James Bamber in her own words, since Dave Bamber. Sarah Cornthwaite's in. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Dan says, I try to improve Hardy. He looks very promising after seeing him come on from the bench and scoring in like every game. Yeah, he did for Plymouth, didn't he? If we keep improving him, he could be one of the best strikers in League One. Well, this is something that Neil Critchley has promised to do, to bring players on. So if he was scoring every game for Plymouth, as he was, there was obviously a reason we sent him out on loan. I don't know what that was. But hopefully clean slate and we can see what he's got to offer next season.
Yeah. Hopefully so.
No, Scotty Martin says Hennigan's on a free. I think he will go Motherwell. Oh, well, let's hope not.
That's a shame. I mean, it could have. I'd liked Hennigan. I quite liked him.
Josh says all the players that have gone, one player that you could have back. What of the ones that have just gone now, or
probably Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah. Oh, Taylor Moore. I did like Taylor Moore.
Yeah, you did like Taylor Moore. He was quality.
But Dewsbury Hall was magic because he could just create a goal out of nothing from midfield, which was just exactly what we needed at the time he came in. He was our saviour, really. He was a cracking little player, although he was terrible at FIFA, as we subsequently learnt.
Rangers don't want Anik back, says Ryan from the Rangers fan. So
I'm not sure we do.
We've released him, haven't we?
Well, he's gone back to his parent club, but
he got injured,
I think Maxwell's, is a great keeper. So if he accepts that contract, he obviously Critchley agrees because he wants to keep him too. So I think we've got the young lad Jack Sims as well, haven't we? So
yeah,
I think would I be bothered if Anik didn't come back? Not really. I think I much prefer Maxwell. I think obviously we would need another keeper, but just a secondary keeper, not.
Armand is leaving, says Sarah. Yeah, we're just talking about that now, Sarah. That Armand's leaving. Unfortunately, it was always kind of on the cards. He was actually leaving last summer, wasn't he? As Jane has already said, he was leaving last summer. So
summer before, I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? Okay, so we managed to keep him. It's a shame, really. I liked him, but sometimes you hear about a few little bits of problems behind the scenes with the especially with them letting Mafumbi go and stuff because that was his best mate. So I don't know. It's a shame.
Scotty says Yates is a 23-year-old Rotherham striker. Went to Swindon on loan, scored 16. You should check him out. Very hungry and can score. Oh, is he the one who's like the top scorer in League Two? What was he? Yeah, that sounds
on
good.
Loan.
Yeah,
on loan because he's a Rotherham, is he? But they've gone up, haven't they? So he might want to stay. He might not want to go back down. Mr. Muller says Dewsbury Hall would be great to have back, even if he sounds like somewhere Carl Oyston would used to call home.
Indeed.
Yes, well, Jane had a problem with his name for a while. She kept calling him
Thornbridge Hall.
Salisbury
Hall.
Yeah. She couldn't remember it was Dewsbury Hall, but he was a great player, wasn't he? He really was a good player. The only thing that concerned me with the two of them was I thought we were a little bit small in midfield at times, and we got a bit bullied off. When they were good players, but they were both slight. I sometimes thought we lost a bit of height when they were in the team. I do like a bit of a few tall players in as well. I don't like to be too small of a team.
Monkey's asking what's happening with our season tickets from last season. We don't know. We haven't heard anything. We're not really hearing a lot out of the football club, to be honest.
No.
But they have only decided that the season's over, so I guess, I don't know. Whether they'll have maybe they'll leave that until next season, and they could give us an offer on maybe a reduction on next season. But it's I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Mr. Moley is asking Jane, do you think Nangela is better than Murphs and Big Ben? Well, I know your answer.
I had no time for John Murphy or Ben Burgess.
Like either of them?
No, I really
like John
did
Murphy.
Not like either, and they used to drive me absolutely mental. Murphy, he got a lot of goals because he had Simo putting the ball on his head, and Ben Burgess I'm not even answering that.
I know, but you've got to.
It's a shame, really, for Ben Burgess, because he used to be a good player, didn't he? And then he got was it a head injury? I think it might have been with Paul Rahubka. It was before he joined Blackpool, and he went for a ball with the goalkeeper, and he got quite badly injured, and he was never really quite the same after that. And you could see, he wouldn't have the confidence going up for headers after that. But no, I didn't have any time for.
But you have to have You can't say that John Murphy was just good at nodding in Simpson's crosses.
He was.
But Simpson.
Simo was
but somebody's got to be there. Simo's putting it on a plate for somebody, so he's glad that John Murphy's there to nod him in.
He wasn't
That's
Dave
the whole
Bamber.
point.
No, he wasn't Dave Bamber.
Takes two. The winger's got to cross it in, and the striker's got to be there. Like Nangela just, was always there for for the crosses from.
Scotty says Maxwell is good. I think Anik pips him. And Dan says Maxwell is a small goalkeeper, but he's on another level. His agility is in goal is amazing.
He's very agile.
The thing is, a lot of people, I think this is one of those myths. The people always talk about Maxwell being a small goalkeeper. He's not. I think he's 6'1", and I don't see him as short. It's just like one of these things that everybody says, "Oh, he's short." But he's not.
He's not one of those
He's
massive.
He's not 6'7", but we had Lee Martin, who was 5'11" back in the day, didn't we? So
remember that Reading keeper that played against us this season at Blackpool Road? He was about 6'9".
Oh yeah, he was a giant.
He was enormous.
But no, I agree, Dan. Maxwell's agility is honestly it's incredible. His brain's so sharp, and he's a very clever player, and you can see he's watching. He knows what goes on. I've got a lot of time for him. If I really hope that he signs that contract.
He's always aware, isn't he? He's always aware. He's always in a good place. I mean, you probably remember the save he made against was it Ipswich, where we just got to it and then we went down and scored. Was that the game? I think it was Ipswich. Wasn't
I blacked out last season.
He pulled off like a wonder save. He did like an interception. The player was clean through. They would have won, but then we went straight down and scored. I'm sure it was the Ipswich game now. Alan Smith, Leighton Jane, will your gaffer bring in loans from Liverpool now, do you think? Youngsters could really be great for you geezers as well as experienced pros. Can see Blackpool playoffs at least.
Yeah, no,
that's
absolutely.
what we're hoping, Alan. We're really hoping. We're hoping this, he's been at Liverpool for a long time, and a lot of the way that Liverpool plays is down to them playing that way through the youth, and he's brought players through in the Liverpool way. So we're hoping that Blackpool are going to start playing in that way that Liverpool are. Because if we are, it's fantastic football at the moment. It's the best football in the country. They're leading the league by a country mile, aren't they? It's exciting stuff. If we can see football like Liverpool play at Bloomfield Road, I'll be in heaven.
Oh,
I really will be in heaven.
Adam says, let's get Curtis Johns from Liverpool. I've been crying his name for years. Neil Critchley will know him. He was in Liverpool's under-23 squad and a brilliant player.
We are linked with this top scorer, says Scotty. Is that the... Who was it? Sorry, I've forgotten the name already of the guy. Jerry, what was he called?
The guy from Rotherham.
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah. I should know because it was in the quiz the other week. But
was it? Okay. He's a top scorer. We're actually linked with him. Let's get Curtis Johns from Liverpool. I've been crying his name for years. Neil Critchley will know him. Okay. I'm behind.
You are. George is here. Hello, George.
Adam, I'd like Elliot. Hi, George. Yeah.
Monkey says MK are giving us the option to give the money to the academy, get 4 tickets for next season, get the new away shirt of 2021, or get a full refund. So that's on your 1920 season tickets. So give the money to the academy, get 4 tickets for next season, get the new or get a full refund. So you could have your money back, but yeah,
that's not a bad little thing, is it? To give the money to the academy and get
nice
40.
to have the options.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. Can we really get Elliot? He's like 20 million, says Adam Clark. Probably then we won't be able to get Elliot if he's 20.
Any money at all. I don't think any club's got any money. This is going to be a major problem, really. Clitheroe Seasider. Hello, Clitheroe Seasider. Are you Mark? Or are you another Clitheroe Seasider?
Hi, Clitheroe.
Do you like Clitheroe?
Yes, I agree. We do
Nice
need to
castle.
stop getting great players on loan. They need to be ours. I do agree with that, but you sign these permanent signings and they don't always work out, do they? As we found with Nuttall, he was a permanent signing and he didn't really work out well, did he? Or so far, he may improve with a new, with Neil Critchley looking after him a bit better than maybe Simon Grayson did.
Mr. Moley says, talking of injuries, Danny Coyd with the pitch roller. Yeah, sign of the times. My phone wants to auto Coyd to COVID. Oh, bless. Yeah, Danny Coyd in the pitch roller. He was a great player. He was Mr. Versatile, wasn't he? And yeah,
it just did in that pitch roller, didn't it? It was unbelievable. He never really recovered from that thing when he fell over that, didn't he? It really did hurt him.
Yeah. No, I loved it. He could play everywhere. Left back, left wing, right wing. He was a quality player. Scotty says would like Yates or Ferrier. Yes, Ferrier indeed.
Do we still? Yes, we do think he will bring some Liverpool youngsters in. I mean, he must have a great knowledge of young players. I mean, Liverpool will spit out probably, I don't know how many boys they have in the academy. If they're anything like United Academy, they have 36 boys every year that come into the United Academy. And they come from 36 different satellite United academies spread around they're mainly in the northwest, and they have other academies. But how many players come through every year to United? How many players come through to Liverpool out of all them boys? There must be loads and loads of boys that Neil Critchley will know could do a damn good job and will fill spots. I'm sure he's got contacts all over the place. He'll have even seen, youngsters playing for teams against Liverpool Academy and thought, oh, this lad's looking a bit sharp. And he'll have already noted players, that his academy boys have played against and who haven't gone on. And I'm sure there's loads of diamonds in the rough out there. That,
Dennis says,
if you know what you're doing.
Dennis says, I saw Maxwell being refused entry onto the big one, just half an inch too short.
He's not.
It's a myth.
No,
it is a myth.
But the other thing as well with Neil Critchley is, he's obviously a very good coach. And if he can coach players to become, better. I mean, Holloway was a great coach as well. And really, well, maybe Thompson was more the coach on that. But, between Holloway and Thompson, they really turned the players that Blackpool signed and got them, and turned them into Premier League stars. And none of them were.
A lot of that was psychological as well, wasn't it? Making them believe that they were superstars, and that's what they became, which was wonderful.
Yeah,
so,
he bred them to believe, didn't he?
We've got a newbie here, Lou B. I think that's my friend Louise, isn't it? Hello, nice to see you in here. Glad you came. I hope you continue to enjoy the football chat. Feel free to join in.
Scotty would also like Ferrier. Yeah, I just like the look of him. Both times we've played him, against Tranmere. I mean, he scored a brilliant goal at when we played Tranmere on over the Christmas period. He was amazing.
Sorry, I went a bit far then. Yeah, someone said he's just Googled Maxwell and he is 6'1", so that's not short. I'm 5'2". I'm short. Would I love to be 6'1"? No, I'm not sure I would.
Let's just go back a little bit. Back here. It's Mark. He's changed his username. Clearly.
Right.
Tangerine Dan would love to see a discount on the season tickets because of the pandemic. We didn't get to see all the games in the season. Well, they've got to do something, haven't they? Because we've paid for games. There's got to be something. Have we got any? Ednam says. Right, hang on. Let's go back a bit. We need to go back a bit. Yes, it confirmed. Maxwell says, Google says he's 6'1". Nick Muller, I think they try and get fans back, you think how much money fans home and away bring in.
It's
a
going
match
to be
day. Well,
difficult
yeah.
for people to get back into the routine of going to football when, we know as Blackpool fans who didn't go for 5 years how you find other things to do. So it's going to be hard getting, attendances I don't think will be quite so high when football does open up. I mean, obviously they're going to have to phase us in and maybe start with 10-15% of capacity, but I think people just are going to find other things to do. It's going to be interesting. So I think that it'd be interesting to see how clubs treat the fans now is going to have a big impact on how many go back. I think because if they're made to feel valued, then great, they're more likely to go back. But if they're treated like Sunderland are treating the Sunderland fans at the moment, it's
very bad. It's
it
going down
painful.
so bad in Sunderland, isn't it? It's really, really bad. Mr. Molly said Lee will remember the great Ipswich keeper from the 70s, 80s. Paul Cooper was only 5'8". His specialism was saving penalties.
5'8".
I don't remember any
Goodness
keeper from
me.
Ipswich. It's I don't really.
He must have been exceptional at 5'8".
Yeah, I don't really remember him, Mr. Molly, if I'm being honest. But, it's not Ipswich. No, it's Ipswich. We were actually talking about Ipswich, weren't we, just the other day?
I've been reading about Ipswich.
What a sort of massive club they are, really, and a very nice club, aren't they? From you can probably tell us a little. Jane will probably tell us a little bit about Ipswich a bit later on.
Yeah.
What do we think of Nottingham renewing his contract? Well, he's played very well, hasn't he? Where did he go?
I think it was. Was it Crewe he went to? He did very well where he went on loan, and he was very happy there. So
I actually thought he looked. He's always looked a bit of a decent player. I saw him on TV in that cup game before we came back. He seemed to play all right. He seemed to be a decent fullback. It didn't look much wrong with him, really.
I think a lot of these players that went out on loan and became rejuvenated, didn't they, last season? Just getting away from Larry.
Dean Lewington is coming to the end of his contract. Do you think he will stay? Is that Milton Keynes and Dons?
I don't know.
We don't know who Dean Lewington is, unless he's not talking to us. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, we know. Yeah, Sarah Armand is definitely leaving. Liam White says, if he does a quiz, will we join? Cool. Well, we'll come and have a look at it.
Yeah.
You're going to do it on YouTube? We'll certainly have.
We do like a quiz.
We do like a quiz, yeah.
Mr. Moley says, terrible loans from Liverpool. I give you Ivan Jones. Yes.
Yeah, but it's all about...
He looks about 50, didn't he? And he was only about 20.
We have had some bad loans from Liverpool. It's not guaranteed, but you just hope that Neil Critchley knows these players well. I mean, the other good thing about Critchley as well is, we're trying to build a new academy, and hopefully he's had so much experience at Liverpool Academy that he will advise Blackpool on the sort of things we need at our academy when we do build a new one, which also should be quite exciting if we get a decent academy, and it's he knows the sort of things that you need and the things you don't need.
Ryan says the Rangers page on Facebook is doing a where did players go when they left us. See if you remember this name. Andy Gow. Is that Alan Gow?
Oh, Alan Gow. I remember
Alan Gow ripping his shirt off at Watford when he scored a goal. Yes, that was very memorable.
Was kind of a good player. He was quite good, Alan Gow.
He was great, yeah.
Something went wrong, though, with Alan
Something
Gow.
did go wrong with him, yeah. I don't know what happened with his career, but something went
went why we don't like him anymore. Did he do something bad against us when he came back and scored or something? I can't remember. There was.
I just remember the top being ripped off.
Somebody will know why we fell out of love with Alan Gow, but we quite liked him.
Yeah, there's rumours of a few championship clubs being interested in Angela, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he does at that level because we know he's capable of being good and strong. We saw it against Reading; he ripped Reading to pieces, but he just needs to make a bit of an effort more often and step it up. And he could be under the right management. Again up here, if he was inspired, if Ian Holloway was managing him, he could go on to great things. Nothing
has been mentioned regarding Tony Weston. Well, yeah, we have. We did mention this last week, didn't we? Jane really likes Tony, or really, really quite like the look of Tony Weston. He's gone, hasn't he? Has he not signed for? Has he signed for Rangers?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I thought he'd gone. I thought he'd.
He was being linked with Rangers, but I haven't heard anything further.
Okay. But yeah, we quite like Tony Weston. He was a little bit small, but he looked very pacey when he come on. He looked very keen, but he only had a bit of a cameo appearance. Then he came on for about 5 minutes, and we never really saw any more of him.
Alan Smith says we had Harry Kane on loan at the Den years ago. Wouldn't mind the geezer back now. No, I bet you wouldn't. I think Blackpool will be flying next season. Always play football on the ground. Blackpool, yeah. I mean, we've got a nice pitch now as well. So
yeah, we have to play football on.
It'd be nice to see us playing some football on it because we didn't see a right lot last season, did we? Mr. Moley says, Alan Gow started off like a house on fire for us, ended up like a burnt-out wreck, unfortunately.
I'm sure it was Alan, wasn't it? I'm sure
it was Alan, yeah. Alan Gow, yeah.
He's supposedly off to Ibrox, Scotty says. I think we're talking about Western, are we here?
Dan says, with that new training facility with Neil Critchley, we can actually have a proper youth team, and Critchley can make proper stars out of it, like Alexander-Arnold and Elliot at Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, I know they're just building something temporary, aren't they, at Squires Gate at the moment, but hopefully...
they're putting in some facilities down there,
We'll get a decent facility somewhere else. I don't know how they're getting on with that, but we'll know when they tell us, I guess. But
there's plenty of... Hard. You've probably seen the video that I did when I went down to film the BST helping to get the training ground cleaned up, and there was no facilities there whatsoever in like changing rooms or showers, or there was just nothing. It was just, honestly, it was just like porter cabin sort of thing. It was even worse than that. It was like skip sort of thing. It was awful, and they've now obviously building some like temporary permanent facilities, so they've got changing rooms and showers, because the players would have to train at Squires Gate and then driving the car back to the hotel to get a shower, which must have been just rubbish totally. So at least they'll have some facilities to change in, but they're not going to do anything with the pitches. But having said that, there is a lot of pitches down there to play on. There's plenty of room. It's massive. I think there's like 2.5 pitches there size wise, 2.5 full football pitches, so they can train, but of course it's very windy down there as well, which is one of the things that affects things. But it's not really a bad training ground. There's just no facilities. So, but they keep saying they're going to be building somewhere else in Blackpool, so let's hope they do.
Nick says some fans now realise how much they spend on football, so some may not go as much. Yeah, very true. It's very true. It's frightening, really. I've never counted how much I spend on football, but I'm certainly, not my bank balance isn't missing it at all. It's frightening, really. Nick says Paul Cooper was great, best penalty saver in the country. Wow. Did they do a lot of penalties against Ipswich in those days?
I don't really remember that name.
Dan asks, what's your predictions for the Wycombe-Fleetwood game and the Pompey-Oxford game? Wow.
It's a tough one, because Pompey, you would think, really confident, but Oxford are one of the best teams we've seen this season.
Yeah, they're coming up. The playoff semi-finals for League One are on the 3rd and 6th of July, so that's coming up less than a month away now, and the playoff final is a month today, on the 13th of July at Wembley.
I think Fleetwood have got a chance against Wycombe. If I'm being honest, I don't think Wycombe are that good. Not what I've seen of them anyway. I don't think they're the best really.
No, I mean, Oxford were a funny one because they were really good, very difficult to play against when they played us at Bloomfield Road, but then they weren't quite so good when we played them at their place, so I don't really know what's going on with them.
Another Liverpool link, I give you Paul Dalglish. Oh yes, looked like his dad and played like his mum.
But he scored that one goal, didn't he, that was about 58 passes, and he was the one who tapped it in at the end, so that's what we remember Paul Dalglish. not for anything else.
That's what you remember.
Yeah.
Can't decide to cheer on the Cods in the playoffs. Normally Blackpool first, Lancashire second, Northern third, but can't be doing with Barton. Well, no, he is a bit.
I know. And he's got out of jail, hasn't he, for another year as well.
He is Marmite. I mean,
that would be unbearable, wouldn't it? Fleetwood got promoted. Really, we can't have that. Sorry, Ben, if you're here. We're not having that.
It is kind of unbearable.
Yeah. Sarah's very upset about Armand leaving. Yeah, it is sad. We are going to miss him.
I know. No, we can believe it. To be honest, it was kind of coming. To be honest, Sarah, because he's already left once and come back, and he wasn't 100% happy here, was he? Sometimes his body language wasn't there, but yeah, I know he was. But it's just. It's football, you just replace them. That's all it is. You get great players and, you get new ones. And that's
Chris
it.
says hello. Hello, Chris. It's going very well. If very hot here. Very hot in Blackpool today. If I find myself with my notebook, just excuse me.
Yeah, Ryan's probably right. Critchley will have contacts with Rangers, with Gerrard. Definitely there will be a connection there, won't there? Chris D, hello there, guys. How's it going? It's going great, Chris. Thank you. Glad you could join us. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moley says a team recently in the Premier League with no showers or changing facilities at their training ground. Beggars belief. Thank God that all seems to be behind us. Interesting, actually. It's something Matt Scrafton was saying on Twitter just the other week. He was saying about how Blackpool tend to historically start the season very well, go bad in the winter and then pick up again, for the playoffs at the end of the season. And he was saying, is that possibly because of Squires Gate and the horrible training facilities that in the winter they just don't want to be there? So when the weather's okay, it's not so bad and they play well and the spirits are up. But then, Squires Gate in the winter just gets them down and then they pick up when the weather picks up again. It's something I'd not particularly noticed, to be honest, over the years. But perhaps
we don't play well at Christmas. We are a terrible Christmas side.
Day,
it's just awful. We just, the years and years I've gone to Boxing Day games and Christmas Day games and New Year's Day games we've lost, and this season was terrible. It was the worst I think ever, wasn't it? I mean, we just lost.
Oh, Napper's mum's
3 out of
here.
4.
Hello, Napper's mum. The Fleetwood lads have
Hi,
been
Jill.
training every day and looking really fit and well. Well, that's great news.
Yeah, that is really good. That's really good, and they've got a chance. Fleetwood, we can't deny it.
Smithy says we're going to push Preston out the playoffs for you Tangerine Geezers. They're having a Turkish bath, Preston, if they think they're Premier League bound. Yeah, we're not a Turkish. Oh, that's Cockney rhyming slang for laugh, isn't it? Turkish bath. Having a Turkish bath. Yeah, well, could you imagine that Fleetwood get promoted and Preston get promoted? We might as well just give up.
Yeah, we really do want
Fleetwood. I would rather Fleetwood get promoted than Preston. So if I had to choose,
gosh, yeah. I mean, there's only one. There's one team that we really hate. We don't really hate Fleetwood. I mean, I've said this before. They're not really a team that we hate. There's no sort of history really. There is a little bit of history now coming in a few games, but we don't have any hatred for Fleetwood. Not like Preston. If Preston get up into the Premier League, it would be just too hard to take.
Ryan says, I said on Tuesday I would have Rangers questions for you for the quiz. So far I have 5. Or fire away.
All right, okay.
Fire away, Ryan. Stephen says maybe clubs should consider reducing ticket prices. Airlines are doing that to get people back. Could work in football. Maybe gates in time would increase.
Football's a very expensive game,
that's
isn't
not
it?
a bad idea, actually, because they did that at Bradford, didn't they? Your tickets were a £5 or something, and they got massive crowds. So that's a good idea. But we're a way off that, aren't we? Unfortunately, they don't want big crowds at the moment. It's actually interesting. I was reading about the Champions League earlier, and they're thinking of moving that to like a mini tournament to get it finished off in Lisbon, potentially, instead of Istanbul where the final was meant to be. And they're saying they may allow fans into those matches if the Portugal relax the rules in time, so that'll be interesting.
Phil Burnell saying Fleetwood going up would be heartbreaking. It would certainly be a dagger, wouldn't it? It would be a dagger, especially with Andy Pilley being a Blackpool fan and taking him over, and but you can't deny he's done an amazing job to take Fleetwood.
Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that. Just to go through, let's just start going through the news, because it's as always, we're half an hour in and I haven't covered anything yet. So going to the Premier League, interestingly, that starts next week. This is our last football-free Saturday, because the Premier League starts next week. Some interesting new rules and regulations. There's going to be no masks. The players and the club officials on the bench won't be required to wear masks. The fourth official will, the physio will, and the doctors will. But the subs won't be wearing masks. There's going to be no ball boys. There will be sterilised replacement balls coming into play. No ball boys. Spitting is being discouraged, quite rightly. I think it should be anyway, because it's disgusting habits. And something else that I can't read. Honestly, am I right? Oh, celebrations, yes. Goal celebrations with other players are being discouraged as well. There's going to be deep cleans of the corner flags, the goalposts, the subs boards after every use, and balls. Teams are being encouraged to fly to matches, long distance matches, to limit the use of hotels. All the staff, players and club staff will have temperature checks before arrival at the ground that they're going to be playing at. Sub players will be hand sanitising when they're entering and leaving the pitch. The latest round of 1,213 tests, there's only been one positive. So that's 14 out of 7,487 in total. So those numbers are pretty low. And the first matches we're going to see on the 17th of June, which is in 4 days' time, which is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Villa versus Sheffield United and Man City versus Arsenal. So the Premier League is back on Wednesday.
Just going through some more comments. Ryan Dunbar says Fleetwood are just a tram stop in Blackpool. Remember that. Of course we remember that. Oh, hi, Ben from Cod's Vlog.
Oh, hi, Ben. We're just saying how we hope you do well in the playoffs.
Yeah, so everybody here is rooting.
We're all behind you.
We're all behind you. Don't worry about it. You've missed nothing. Rory Grummage from Australia. Hello, Rory. How is Australia?
Good morning, is it over there?
Good evening, I think it is. Yeah.
Time is it in Australia, Rory?
Yes, it's late, isn't it? They're normally on about 2 o'clock. I think it's about midnight we start over there, I think.
Oh, Chris is from Tranmere. Chris says, reminds me of Tranmere Rovers. We used to start our season well, but then a few Christmases we've been sloppy, but this new pitch layout will be a good thing to see. Yeah, you got your new pitch, of course, which should be great for next season. How are you, Chris, with everything that's happened this week?
We're a bit upset for Tranmere, to be honest, because you'll have seen our video, won't you? And Tranmere fans were just amazing at Bloomfield Road. And there's no way you were going to go down this season.
We're a big fan of the Super White Army.
We have become big fans of Super White Army, and we were a bit upset really because we didn't go to the fan zone.
No, we're looking forward to that.
We might have done better in the away day reviews as well because we didn't know it was there, and we were going to look forward to seeing it next season.
Speaking of the away day reviews, Lee's currently working on the top 10, my top 10 away days of last season. So keep an eye out for that this week, and we'll see.
Hopefully we should get that on this week.
Who's there? I know Nick's excited to see where Ipswich finished because they haven't been featured so far, so they'll be in the top 10. But I'll tell you something, all the top 10 are cracking away trips, so it was very difficult to select, and the top 3 especially, really, really very special days out, all of them. So.
Tangerine Dancing, imagine Blackburn being packed in like sardines on the away day at Highbury. Well, it'll just be like us, won't it? They just won't give them any, how many tickets did they give Blackpool for? 8?
Many.
We were packed in like...
I think there was more police than Blackpool fans there.
Yeah, there was quite a few there, but, we could have took a lot more, obviously, and they didn't give as many tickets in the stands, did they? It was very strange.
Ryan's got 7 questions. Question 1, this is on... is it on Rangers or Scott Rangers? Who is Rangers' record transfer fee from who and how much?
Neil's here.
Transfer fee from. So... Gosh...
Rangers record transfer fee. Well, we're a bit sketchy on Rangers, if I'm being honest. We've only just adopted you, so we don't know too much about Rangers.
Give us a clue.
We know you're in Scotland, and we know you're in Glasgow, and we know you're sort of, you're big right,
You play in blue.
Yeah, you play in blue, and Celtic or the other team in Glasgow.
Ali McCoy, do we remember him? He's not the answer, though.
No.
Did you have Gabriel Batistuta at Rangers? Neil's here. Hello, sorry I'm late. A lot going on in the world, so I've been distracted. Yeah, we're trying to ignore what's going on in the world, to be honest.
And I'm suggesting the club could always give us a new season shirt in place of a refund on your season ticket.
If really generous, a hoodie and a beanie hat as well.
Yeah, that could go down well for those.
So that's one of the options at Milton Keynes, isn't it?
It won't do so good with all the old age dodgerers though. With all the ones that are in the
you
West,
give them a flask and a blanket.
They may not want they may not want a new season shirt when they're 70, but you don't know. They may still wear them. Sterilised balls. That's taking it one.
I don't think they mean those kind of balls, David. Clitheroe says, I think Tranmere are very unlucky to be going down. Their team played well against Poole this season and battled well. Also great support. Yeah, they were indeed. I think they may have stayed up if the season was completed. Yeah, but they had to decide it some way, didn't they? And there's always going to be people who are upset one way or the other. So it's unfortunate. But then they were in that position, weren't they? They could have battled earlier and got up the league sooner, and they wouldn't have been in that position. So you've got to call it somewhere, haven't you? It's
just unfortunate.
It is a shame, but just instead of being angry about it, maybe just fight next season and come straight back up, because we'd love to see that.
We always say there's one of the great things. Well, the greatest things are getting promotion. So if you can get promotion back next season, you have a massive season next season. In fact, one of those things with football, it doesn't matter which league you're in really, as long as you're winning. It's like winning football makes you go to, if you're in whatever league you're in, as long as you're winning, even if you go in the Premier League, if you get beat every week, it's not enjoyable. It's not a nice experience to keep getting beat. Even when you're playing Arsenal and Chelsea, you don't want to lose. It's within your DNA to want to win every game. And sometimes when you get in, the Premier League, for us was good, but in the end, it wasn't good.
Ben's nervous. Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah. The playoffs are really nervous. I mean, even following FC Brickstand in the playoffs last week, we were really nervous. It just brings it all back. So, yeah.
Alan's having a little dig here. Cardboard cutout fans, tannoy fake crowd noises, no atmosphere, business as usual for West Ham and Charlton. Well, I must admit, West Ham used to be a very, very noisy place, didn't it? When you went to Upton Park or the Berlin or whatever it was called. But this new stadium sounds like a disaster. I've not been yet, but it seems like you're so far away from the football they can't even hear you. It's like a running track in it between them and the pitch. And
Nick Muller says if Fleetwood go up, he's going to eat his hat and scarf. Well, I hope you'll film that for us, Nick.
You're risking it there, Nick. I don't know. Fleetwood are they're an unusual team. They're better than many think they are.
Rory
they weren't brilliant against us. But
it's Sunday morning in Melbourne now.
Sunday morning, yeah, it's after midnight.
Gosh.
Terry Butcher was Rangers.
Yes, he was Rangers, wasn't it? And Ipswich. Ryan Dunbar, this is just to give you some facts, but think English Premier League.
Played in he went from Rangers and played. Did he?
Oh, Chris says Tranmere shouldn't get relegated, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, it's a tough one. I mean, obviously, Southend were down anyway, Bolton were down anyway, weren't they? But it was, I think you were, 3 points, off the safety with the game in hand, weren't you? Which is a shame, isn't it? Because you did have a game in hand. Yeah, it's a shame. Mr. Morley says Van Bronckhorst is Rangers record by no right time though. Ben says, anyone taking your fancy for an away day out the teams in the League 2 playoffs, Jane? If we don't go up, Exeter or Cheltenham or Colchester or new grounds for me. So in the League 2 playoffs we have Col U, Exeter, Northampton and Cheltenham. Well, not Northampton, obviously, because whoever wants to go to Northampton. I was reading it in one of my books. I can't remember which one that I was reading over the last week or so. Someone was saying that Rushden are the unglamorous team in Northamptonshire, and that's saying something. So, yeah, not Northampton. Cheltenham, yeah, I love Cheltenham. I do love Cheltenham. It's a fantastic day out. There's actually one of the pubs in Cheltenham won the Camera National Pub of the Year. So Cheltenham is a great day out. So we do love Cheltenham. It's not too far either. Exeter, quite a long way away, but a lovely city. So, yeah, I'd like to go there again. I've not really explored it properly. Possibly a weekender there if it's not a Tuesday night. Col U doesn't really excite me too much. Colchester, so I've been to all of them, but Cheltenham would be
one of my friends is a Colchester United fan, and we always used to have a £5 bet on who would finish higher, Colchester or Blackpool, and I often had to pay him. They always used to do us. They even did us last day of the season, one season where I went to Chesterfield away, and we were in the driving seat in injury time, and we let one in, and they won and we drew, and they went above us on the last day. I had to pay him a £5. I still haven't forgotten it. Still haven't forgotten that fight.
Ben, you're lucky with Colchester. Really, the old Colchester ground was pretty. I don't know if you ever went there, but Layer Road was pretty grim. The toilet, I think they had one toilet in the away end. It was very grim.
Some grounds were terrible, weren't they, back in the day?
Oh, they had character. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Moley's going for flow. Yes. Paul says Liverpool beat Blackburn Rovers 6-0 this week. A friendly game at Liverpool's ground. Wow.
Did they? 6-0. Well, I mean, Liverpool have won it anyway, haven't they? Really, barring a miracle, they've won it. It's more interesting how the Championship's going to pan out. Whether Leeds will blow it, like they normally do, or whether they'll get up. Because they've got to play to get up. They're not just going to be awarded it, are they, on a points basis? So.
William Edmondson says, as an oldie, I wouldn't mind a shirt or a hoodie, but let's just draw a line under it and donate it to the club. Yeah, I mean, we've already paid it, haven't we? And, it's not something I'm thinking about having back. But you know,
No,
I think a discount off your season tickets next season maybe. I mean, it's not even as if we're going to get to watch any matches on iFollow, are we? It's because there just aren't any. Maybe next season, maybe offer something on the iFollow matches when the season starts. Assuming we can't go, I mean, maybe season ticket holders will be allowed back in at matches when the season does start again, whenever that may be. So, I'm beginning to think that Scotland actually got this right. For all we joke about what a mess they've made of everything. At least they've drawn a line under last season quite early, and they're getting next season started when it should be starting. So
it's all it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, how's it going to go on with next season? When are they going to start next season?
Who knows? If the playoffs are going on until, the championship's not going to finish until the end of July. I don't know.
So normally we'd start the season in August.
It's all a mess because you've got different countries, the leagues are starting, leagues are carrying on, leagues are, and then what do you do about the transfer window? And you've got your Champions League, that's not going to finish until August. What happens with the transfer window? It's just all disjointed and a mess. I don't get what's going to happen there.
I mean, it had to be a mess. You can't be in lockdown for 3 months and football stop and it not be a mess. It's going to be a mess.
And then, of course, we've got the stupid Football World Cup in Qatar that's going to mess everything up again just when we get back.
Because that's in January, isn't it? Is that January?
I think is it December? It's just ridiculous. So we'll get sorted out, in a few years' time. Things will settle back down again, but I think it's going to be a little while. Nick says Exeter and Plymouth.
Yeah, they'd be all right for you down there, Nick, wouldn't they? Tangerines, if you're angry and bored, burn a Preston shirt or destroy. I wouldn't even have a Preston shirt to burn or destroy, if I'm being honest.
No. Oh, Mr. Melley's right. Torre Andre Flo is the record Rangers transfer fee.
Paul Folwell, the Blue Nose from Birmingham. Hi, Paul. We're doing fine. Thank you very much.
Still very hot. 12.5 million.
It's very hot down up here.
It's very hot today.
It's hot in here at the moment. So we're melting.
It's been cold. Actually, I had the heating on for a bit this week, but it's just gone the other way again.
Do we bring that fan a bit nearer?
Ben says Northampton been twice, awful away day. The other three I need to do Exeter or Cheltenham for me. Yeah, we went to Northampton on a Friday night the one time, and that was really grim. Ended up, I don't remember. We had to change trains somewhere weird on the way back, and it was just terrific. And there's the hill, isn't there, at Northampton? People can watch the game from the hill.
Can they? Alan Hutton, people are saying, as a Rangers signing. I can't remember Alan Hutton at all.
Leah's here. Hi, Leah.
She said she's not surprised that Bolton... Bolton was not a shot going down. They did their best.
They did their best, which is more than we did when we went to Bolton, because we were terrible. England centre-forward Haitley signed for Rangers. Yeah, Mark Haitley.
Oh, he might be... Yeah, Mark Haitley.
Nick Muller says Oxford's old ground, the manor ground was a shithole. It had a tree in it, didn't it? It used to have a tree in the ground. I remember a horrible, in 95, 96, end of the season, we went there and lost, and it was,
I was there for
not
that
a
one.
Happy day.
They scored a wonder goal, didn't they? From way out. I just remember this.
The new one's weird, though, with the car park behind the goal. It's very odd. And in the middle of nowhere as well. Even if you get the bus, you've got to walk for about 20 minutes after you've got off the bus to get to Oxford's new ground. We ended up getting a taxi this season.
United won West Brom 2 yesterday, and Arsenal lost 2-3 to Brentford.
Interesting.
Did they really? I didn't even know that. Wow. Lost to Brentford.
Ryan says, we'll change these questions into facts, but that's a good idea, right? Because we've got no idea. Did you know Rangers' first ever manager stayed for 34 years and the second manager died in a boating accident off the Gurrock coast? Gosh. 34 years, that's some good. Actually, I was reading about Ipswich.
It's better than Alex Ferguson, isn't it?
Yeah, I was reading about Ipswich and how they never sacked a manager till 1979, which is unheard of now, isn't it? You can't imagine. No. Can't imagine that. Gosh, that's 34 years. Blimey. Was he a successful manager, Ryan? Ben says Fleetwood have said season tickets are being allowed in first before anyone. Yeah, I think that's fair. They've got to segregate it somehow, haven't they? Let them in by in dribs and drabs.
Man, Dunbar's not happy about you praising Scottish football. She must be joking after all he's been telling us for weeks.
At least they got it sorted out and drawn a line under it, haven't they? Well, hopefully. I don't know if they're still appealing it, are they?
Ryan's been banging on about this for about 6 weeks about how what a mess it is. And you said, yeah, it's all right. They've done really well.
Well, they've sorted it out. They've got it out of the way. And the Adam says League One prediction reaction. I got 2 teams right from my prediction, so that's good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, well done, Adam.
Not bad.
Alan says Torquay away was a great way. Definitely, yeah, I love Torquay. Had some great times down there. Good booze and a great town. But paid £3 for a hot dog inside the ground and was given a buttered bun for our sausages. Oh, that's outrageous.
For £3, a buttered bun.
No, they're good for the Cornish pasties. I know it's Devon, but yeah, Cornish pasties always is good down. I'm not sure Torquay, but certainly Plymouth, I think, have nice pasties down there.
Nick Muller has confirmed that he thinks the tree was listed or something like that. So, there was a tree. Where was it? Where was the tree? It wasn't in our end, was it?
I don't think so.
Can't remember.
Just to go around Europe a little bit, La Liga, the Spanish football's kicked off again. Fans have been gathering at matches. There is artificial crowd noise and a dodgy virtual crowd that's meant to look like people, but it just looks like lots of dots, and it doesn't look great. Apparently, the crowd noise is really quiet. It sounds like they needn't have bothered. And they're hoping to have some fans back at matches by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
In Spain, in Italy, Juventus have got to the Coppa Italia final, where they will play Inter or Napoli, who play tonight. In Serie A, they've changed the quarantine rules in Italy. So now, if they have a positive test at a Serie A club for an individual, then the individual has to go into quarantine. The rest of the squad will have to be in isolation for 4 days, during which time they will be tested twice, and if they are clear, then they can resume training and playing. So it's only 4 days as opposed to the 14 days that we have over here at the moment. They're going down to 4 days in Italy, so that will disrupt the play less if they have positive tests. But if the numbers are anything like they are over here, they're very low now. Talks are underway with UEFA regarding the transfer window, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And Euro 2020, which is now Euro 2021, they're looking at having the playoffs before Christmas, so those can go ahead.
Wow. Back to the comments. Nick Muller's confirmed that Ipswich had a manager for 18 years. It was their second manager. Yeah. 18 years. It's a long time, isn't it? You wouldn't get that nowadays. You're looking to get them for 2 years. Ram Dunbar says to Jane, Bill Struth was his name. Is this the manager that was
successful?
Yeah, for 30 odd years. Yeah. And the boat accident manager was a manager called Scott Simon. And true or false, Rangers refused to turn up to a Scottish Cup replay against Vale of Leven.
Why?
True or false?
Well, yeah, I'm going to go with true, but why?
I'm going to go for true because we can't see you making that. We'll guess true. Phil Burnell says, if Owen had us now, where would we be?
Well, we'd still be locked down, wouldn't we?
Will we? Yeah. And he'd be suffering.
Still glad the football season had finished.
Yeah, he'd be suffering, wouldn't he? Well, we wouldn't even be watching football, would we? Wouldn't have been interested at all.
Of course, it's the first anniversary today of Simon Sadler. It's Simon Sadler Day today. So,
yeah.
Where were you when you heard the news about Simon Sadler? I was in Stavros's bar in Rhodes Town. I was on holiday last year, so where were you guys when you heard the news? I remember it was wonderful because we thought he wouldn't get the whole of the club or the whole of the ground, and he got 100% of everything, and that was just the icing on the cake that the Oystons had gone completely. So,
David Scholes is asking, will it still be 3:00 next week? Well, I suppose it will. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these matches are going to be all over the shop, aren't they? We are LCTV at 3, so we will be at 3.
We're going to carry on with it until at least our football comes back.
Brick football news. This is it was the playoff final in the Builders Liga last Sunday. Green Lawn Rovers, who beat FC Brickstand in the semi-final. You may remember that they're the vegan club with the tickets that you could eat. They beat Bay City in the final, so congratulations to Green Lawn Rovers, who've been promoted in the Builders Liga. At FC Brickstand, Bricksent Lizarazu has been promoted. He's retired from playing, but he's now the assistant manager, so he's still at the club, which is great news because he's a big favourite at Brickstand. And this is exciting news. And Lee, you need to sign up for this. I already have done. On Thursday, there's a five-a-side fans tournament at FC Brickstand, followed by the end of season presentations. So I've signed up. I need to sign up. I got an assist at the last five-a-side match at FC Brickstand. Lego Me did. So,
you did, yeah. You got an assist.
So yeah, it's for members only. So get your memberships at FC Brickstand and you can play in this five-a-side tournament on Thursday and go to the end of season presentation night. So that sounds like a great night.
Be done.
And just across with Studdersfield Sharks, the building work is underway at their ground. And they've had a big delivery of turf this week, so watch this space, see how they prepare for next season.
So what's everybody's thoughts on the Premier League? Are you going to be watching it? Are you going to be watching games free on the BBC? Are you going to be watching them on Sky? Are you with BT Sport? Are you not interested? Are you looking forward to seeing these games, obviously, behind closed doors? Is it something you're looking forward to?
We could maybe watch Liverpool to see how we're going to be playing next season.
Yeah, we can certainly... We're definitely going to take a few games in and have a look at them and see what they're like, just to see what it's like to watch football behind closed doors. But what do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, Leah's just reminded us about the kids in the trees. It's Fleetwood, yes.
Yeah. Well, Jane was actually saying in because we're watching her review, and she was saying that obviously her view was, she couldn't see very well because she was short where she was, so she was thinking she may go in the trees with them next, if they're still with us next season, but she may consider the trees as an option for her to see the game.
Possibly, just like the hill at Northampton. So what's happening in the National League?
Ooh.
Well, it looks like Barrow are going to be promoted. There's a points per game vote at the moment, which it sounds a little bit weird because all the National League clubs have a vote, but the National League North and South have 4 votes each. So I think that's 4 votes, for the North and 4 votes for the South. So it's weighted towards the National League top division. So basically they've got until Monday to decide whether they want to go with points per game. They need a 51% majority to go ahead with that. If they don't, then the league are threatening they might declare the season null and void. So what would be the ramifications of that? Well, if they go for points per game, Barrow are going to be promoted to the Football League, which would be wonderful for Ian Evatt. I think everyone would be so happy for him. Chorley would be relegated. There would be no relegation from the National League North and South because all the leagues below have been declared null and void, and there will be playoffs for the second promotion spot. What does that mean for League 2? Who's going down? Well, we still don't know. Obviously, there's one space because Bury have gone, so there's an extra space in the league, so it would only be one team to go down. Who's that going to be? Currently, Stevenage are bottom, but poor old Macclesfield Town are in trouble, and if they get docked 3 points or more, then they will be relegated. So we still don't know, and they're not happy. They've been complaining about the players and the staff's mental health and the way they've been treated and not really being supported, and the EFL don't seem to be supporting them. Which
David Scholes has mentioned the Blackpool manager of the 50s. I think that was Joe Smith, wasn't it, that managed Blackpool? That took us to the cup final and everything. He was a long-serving manager, very popular manager at Blackpool. I think it was Joe.
Yeah.
True Rangers scored a goal in the proper game, but there was no net, so it bounced off someone into the goalkeeper's hands. The Rangers argued they had scored, so in protest they never showed up to a replay. That's fair enough.
Well,
so there was no net.
Did they get kicked out of the cup for that?
Oh gosh.
Ednam says, I'll probably watch the Premier League match on the BBC, just hope the commentators are not as biased as they have been with the Brexit voters. Well, the commentators can be annoying, can't they? There's some, I don't tend to watch football on telly, but when I do, the commentators do drive me mad.
In fact, talking about Brexit, it's really gone... no, we don't even hear about Brexit at the moment. I don't know how it's going on, but it doesn't seems to have just disappeared under the coronavirus. So
just to
still in or out of Brexit, are we in?
What's happening in the EFL? The Bolton manager and assistant manager are not continuing beyond the end of their contracts at the end of this month.
The Bolton manager was. It was the
Hill.
guy. Yeah.
So they're off. Obviously, the playoffs, the semi-finals for the League Two playoffs are 3rd and 6th of July, with the final on the 29th.
Where are they playing the final? Are they going to play at Wembley?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Are they? It seems.
The League One playoff
How much is that
final.
going to cost to put a final on at Wembley? There's nobody there. Some very strange decision that. With no fans, you don't need Wembley, do you?
Sorry, no. League One semis 3rd and 6th of July, final on the 13th of July. League Two semis 18th and 22nd of June, final on the 29th of June. What else do we have? Blackpool's retain list we've covered. Tranmere look set to make approximately 20 staff redundant following their relegation to League Two. Charlton sounds a bit of a mess. There's something going on. There's a High Court insolvency action being raised. The former executive chairman, Matt Southall, is claiming a 7-figure fee. He was at the club between January and March, and he's claiming a 7-figure fee for his time there for wrongful dismissal.
A bit like Bellicon. Is that going to court?
That all sounds no. It's not like Bellicon at all. It sounds he was there for 3 months, and he's claiming a 7-figure fee against the club for wrongful dismissal, which is it's awful. But the club's been taken over. They've got a new owner now, called Paul Elliott.
Who's the one that's suing? Is that Cardiff that's doing
Cardiff?
Bellicon?
I don't have any update on that. Matty Fryatt, former Walsall favourite player, he's suing Nottingham Forest, where he was most recently, for being for his injury. Basically, he had a bad Achilles injury, and he says that he was being pressured into playing with his injury, which made it worse, and ultimately he had to retire from playing. So he said it's ruined him, physically and also mentally. His mental health's really suffered. So it'll be interesting to follow that one up to see how that goes. Michael O'Neill, the Stoke manager, has been tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah. Alan Smith says Premier League is like going shopping with the trouble and strife, Championship and EFL all day long. So yeah, I think a lot of people, don't enjoy the Premier League as much as the Premier League seem to think they do, but it's still the greatest league in the world, isn't it? So they're doing something right. Dennis Hutch says, have you noticed BBC are counter-programming classic matches against our streams? I know, it's shocking, isn't it? I don't know.
It's always iPlayer, though, Dennis.
Yeah, but they're going up against us. They know
we started this, though. We started the 3:00 Saturday afternoon. We did it the first Saturday. There wasn't any football,
everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now.
We're the leaders in this. The trailblazers. So,
Ryan Dunbar is saying this on the chance of annoying a few people here and starting a debate, but Rangers are the most successful team in football.
Wow.
They probably are, aren't they? They've probably won more titles than anybody else. I don't quite know how it is now with Rangers and Celtic, because obviously Rangers haven't won anything for quite a few years. But
it's the most successful domestic team in football potentially, but not in a on a European level.
Yeah, maybe domestic. Yeah, you've not been so good in Europe, have you? Really?
Just moving on to what we've been up to. Obviously, if you haven't voted for us, we are in the finals of the Football Content Awards for the Best New Content Creator category. If you haven't voted, please vote for us at the Football Content Awards. You can do that on the website. It's the Football Content Awards website. Just go to the voting page. You don't have to vote for any of the other categories if you don't want to. Although Ben from Cod's Vlogs is also in there, and he is up for Best Young Content Creator. So you may or may not wish to vote for Ben. We voted for Ben in the Best Young Content Creator, but please vote for Lee Charles TV as the Best New Content Creator at the Football Content Awards. It would mean a lot. We're going down in November for the awards ceremony at
hopefully
the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which we're really looking forward to, and we'd love to come back with that trophy.
Yeah, we would love to come back with that trophy. It would be great to bring it back to Blackpool. So not only vote yourself, but tell your family and friends to vote for us as well. We need as many people voting as we can.
For voting is midnight on Thursday, so you've only got a few more days to vote. So please vote for us.
We tweeted the club and we tweeted Matt Scrafton to see if they'd retweet us, but unfortunately neither did yesterday. Surprise.
So we need you guys to get behind us.
Ian R is saying hello. Hello,
Ian. What else have we been up to? Well, I've been reviewing football books on my blog, which you'll be able to see. The link to my blog will pop up down here very shortly. janestewart.co.uk is my new website, so have a look at that. I've been doing a lot of work on that, tweaking it and putting a lot of things on there, but I have reviewed 2 books so far. They're all football books. So the first book I reviewed was A Season with Verona by Tim Parks, which is a season on the road watching Hellas Verona, which is very interesting to see what it's like watching football in Italy 20 years ago. A lot of, I imagine a lot of things haven't changed in Italy still, but that was an interesting read. So read what I thought of that, and then yesterday, I posted my review of She Stood There Laughing by Stephen Foster, which is a similar season actually. I think it was just the season after, watching Stoke City when they were terrible, and just the pain of going to every match, watching a team that I could really empathise with, because I had that this season. Just, the football's terrible, not wanting to go to games, just wanting the season to end. It's very interesting. So those reviews are up on my website, janestewart.co.uk, and I'm reading a very funny book that I will be reviewing next week for you, but I'll be doing one a week, so pop over and read. You might get some inspiration for some good football reading.
Mr. Moley is saying, is it still called White Hart Lane? It's not, it's just called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I guess they're looking for a sponsor for it, aren't they?
Yes, they will be doing. Yeah, it's not White Hart Lane anymore.
Yeah, White Hart Lane is now renamed Sell Your Ticket to a Tourist for 100 quid, says Alan Smith.
It looks amazing though, and the new Everton one's coming. Is that opening this year as well? The new Everton one looks amazing.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Down by the docks, it looks incredible.
Yeah. What else have we been up to? Well, we've got our quiz on a Tuesday night, which we do, which is going from strength to strength. I haven't written this week's yet, but that's tomorrow's job to write the quiz. So come along to that if you haven't joined us already. We're 7:00 every Tuesday night. We do a football quiz. So that's the eve of the football season starting.
I think Liam's going live with his quiz at the moment. I think he's going live now, but we've still got another. We don't finish here till around about 10 to 5, so we're only into the set, just kicking off second half, aren't we? I think at the moment.
We are indeed. What else is happening? So, and Lee, as previously mentioned, working on the top 10 away days of the season. So look out for that this week as well.
Who is going to win? In fact, who do you think is going to be Jane's favourite away day this season? For those of you that have watched all the away day videos, and if you've been watching the series, we're up to 11, so we've got the top 10 to go. But any bets on who's going to win? Who's going to be number one of the away day trips? Yeah,
David refers to Staffordshire oatcakes on a stick, which is something that came up in the book that I've reviewed this week, which I'm not happy about at all. Oatcakes on a stick. I mean, it's just...
Why would you want it on a stick anyway?
I don't know whether they've got things in them or whether it's just the oatcake that's on a stick, but it's they're weird people, these Stokies.
It's a very strange thing, isn't it? You can't imagine an oatcake on a stick, unless it is sort of like with other things, but still...
Ryan asks, this is a question us Blackpool fans should know, but how much did Charlie Adam leave Rangers for to join Blackpool?
500,000, I think it was, wasn't it?
Was that in our quiz last week?
I think it was. I thought it was 500,000. Was it 350? I thought it was 500,000.
Yeah. We have him on loan to start with, and then
we did have him on loan, and then he went.
Did he get sent off on his debut?
He did get sent off
for
stamping on Richie Wellens.
Yeah, we liked him straight away. I never forgave Richie Wellens for getting us relegated, for getting sent off at Oldham. Never forgive him for that.
Says he knows it's late. Has anyone mentioned about Nansley? Oh, just a little. We've been talking about him. There's a few
missing him already.
Yeah, we are missing him.
But we decided not to worry because we've got Gary Medine, goal machine, and Joe Nuttall.
My two boys weren't keen on Armand, to be honest. Neither of them, Sebi or Alexander, didn't really like him. But I thought he was a great player. I just thought he was valuable.
Yeah, quality. When he wanted to be.
When he
put the effort in, he was a great player.
Yeah, that was probably the thing with him.
He wasn't consistent, but he got, 18, 19 goals, so it's not really so bad, is it, really? Imagine if he was putting the effort in, how many he could have got.
Just that Panenka at Reading.
Yeah, but he didn't. But what I loved about him was even after that, he didn't let anything mentally get to him. He just carry on, and he wouldn't let things bother him. He was just like, oh, I've scarred that penalty, but he just carried on and played well and didn't, his head didn't drop like would have happened with, with most other strikers, I would say. I think mentally he's very strong. Mr. Murley down by the docks, ideal for bringing the subs
Nick
on. I see what you
still
did
going
there.
for Ipswich to be winners, so we'll have to see on that one, Nick.
Yes.
He's still got $500,000. Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was, $500,000 for Charlie Adam. Mr. Molly says, down by the docks for Everton, it's ideal for bringing the subs on. Right, what else have we got here? So just going back to Ryan, in terms of titles, Rangers got 54 titles. Wow. 54 titles. So yeah, I don't think there's anybody ever got that many. Makes you wonder how much, like in Italy, what the stats are out there, because some of those leagues they only have 2 or 3 ever win them, don't they? I mean, you'd never get 54.
Oh, Ian's voted for us. Thank you very much. Ryan again. What 4 seasons he had: UEFA Cup finalist 2008, league winner 2009, playoff winner 2010, EPL 2010-11. Yeah, wow, that's.
Liam White is saying follow his account. You're obviously on YouTube. If you want to just drop your name of your channel in, Liam, so people can find you on, because I can't remember which one yours is. If you just tell us which one it is, we will let people know. I think you're starting a quiz in competition against us, so that we can't attend. James Riffett says thoughts on Sadler's statement and the retained list. Hi, James. We've gone through the retained list, haven't we?
We have indeed. Yeah, we're. I mean, it's. Looking at the list of people who have gone. Obviously, it's just the lone players that we're going to miss. Shall we have a little look at Sadler's statement?
Simon Sadler's statement. We shall read it out, and then we'll have a little chat about that. Ryan Dunbar says Linfield in Belfast are 1 behind on 53.
Wow.
So they've won 53 titles. Oh, it is just Liam White 9. Okay, so Liam White 9 on YouTube. He's you can follow him if you want to help him out. He's another YouTuber that follows Blackpool.
So here's Simon Sadler's statement on the Blackpool FC website. Simon Sadler 1 year on. At just past 3 p.m. on Thursday, June 13th, 2019, I became the owner and custodian of a famous institution founded in 1887, which is known to us all as Blackpool Football Club. As I reflect on my first year of ownership, my still fresh feelings of gratitude, responsibility and wonder are of course overshadowed by the COVID-19 pandemic and the havoc that has been wreaked throughout our lives and communities. I would like to send my sincerest condolences to those of you that have lost loved ones during this period. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who work for the NHS and the emergency and essential services which kept Blackpool and the surrounding areas going through this difficult time. My first anniversary has coincided with a busy and important week in the life of the club, with the announcement of the curtailment of the 2019-20 season and the release of the player retained list. I would like to thank all of the players and coaching staff for their efforts during the season and wish all those leaving us good luck for the future. Blackpool was one of the 18 League One clubs which voted to end the season. Our club's decision was the result of many hours of debate between the board, head coach Neil Critchley and me. Right up until an hour before our vote was due, we were agonising over our 3 options of curtailing, playing on or abstaining. In the end, our decision to vote to curtail was based upon many reasons, not least of which because given our mid-table position, we had little to aim for. Of course, we also considered our primary responsibility to safeguard the health of our staff as well as the cost of staging matches behind closed doors. Very importantly, we spoke at length with Neil as to what he wanted. Neil assured us that in the time he'd spent with the squad, he had made the necessary assessments such that he felt that with the right additions and a solid pre-season, we would be prepared for the start of the next season, whenever that may be. When I bought the club in mid-June of last year, I did not anticipate to be on my 3rd manager by February of this year. Oh. Terry McPhillips departed abruptly in early July. His departure left us without a manager, an assistant manager or a goalkeeping coach just weeks before the start of the season. At that point, it made sense to turn swiftly to Simon Grayson, given his familiarity with the club as well as his outstanding record of 4 League One's championship promotions. Following an encouraging start and some thrilling matches against the likes of Peterborough and Fleetwood, our season fell away rapidly over the Christmas and New Year period.
Good.
With the addition of a strong recruitment team led by Tommy Johnson, we had in place a plan to strengthen the squad in the January window. It was frustrating for me to watch our performances fall apart as that recruitment plan was being executed and strong additions were being made to the playing squad. In the end, the decision to part ways with Simon was less about the poor results on the pitch, but more about the board's growing concern that we were not building in the right way. We seemed frequently to change tactics, but we did not appear to have a defined playing philosophy.
The Blackpool way, was it?
The search for Simon's successor was deliberately thorough and detailed. With the prospects of reaching the playoffs greatly diminished, we felt comfortable that David Dunn and Tommy Johnson would ensure that we stayed safe, and we were in fact heartened by the immediate improvement in our performances, which we saw under their leadership. I will always be grateful for them for stepping up in the manner in which they did. We needed, however, to find a head coach to help us define and implement the Blackpool footballing philosophy. I thought back to when I'd flown over from Hong Kong in late September to watch the Friday night Lincoln game. The next day I was jet-lagged, and about 4:30 a.m. in the driving rain I decided to retrace the footsteps of my childhood. As I walked along the promenade, I could see how many people were already working in the hotels, cleaning up from the day before and preparing for breakfast. It reminded me how hard people in Blackpool work, that people go there to enjoy themselves, and that it was my duty to ensure that was reflected on the pitch, with hard-working and organised players who deliver an entertaining brand of football with an emphasis on youth and development. After assiduously researching the managerial and coaching landscape, I have little doubt that in Neil Critchley we have found the man to deliver that vision. Sorry, this is quite lengthy, but it's interesting, isn't it?
It is very interesting.
One of the things that I did after buying the club was to appoint to the board Brett Geraghty, a fellow Seasider and long-standing and trusted friend, to be my eyes and ears on the ground. He would turn up to the stadium most days and report back to me, and as he did so, the enormity of what I'd taken on began to dawn on me. The interim management had done a solid job at preparing the club for sale, but over those first few weeks and months it became increasingly apparent that I needed people with the experience of running community-focused football clubs on budgets appropriate to their circumstances. That's telling, isn't it? They overspent. I was pleased to announce first Linton Brown to oversee our commercial efforts, and then Ben Mansford as chief executive. I honestly believe that in the four of us, the club now has as hard-working and passionate a board and management team as any in the EFL. We've achieved much off the field in the past year. There's been significant investment in the stadium. This investment will necessarily be ongoing after years of neglect. We have improved the club shop, our online presence and the ticketing process.
Yeah.
There are further improvements to come. We've rebuilt relations with the community trust, the local council, local businesses and the wider community. We are in the process, but not with us. We are in the process of installing a new, but you wouldn't even retweet our appeal to vote for us for the content awards.
They're not really.
We are in the process of installing a new purpose-built modular building at Squires Gate. The playing surfaces both there and at Bloomfield Road are vastly improved. We've increased staffing across media, finance and marketing, and I'm grateful for the hard work and dedication of all our non-playing staff, most of whom are currently furloughed. I very much look forward to the day when they can safely return to work. Looking ahead, the club clearly needs a modern training facility where the entire football operations can work together in one location. Negotiations are ongoing to secure our preferred site, whilst designs of a building and pitch layout are currently being refined. We're also excited by the prospect of wider regeneration in the Revo area and have had early stage discussions as to what that could mean for our East Stand development. Now to you, the fans.
Well, they are going to redevelop the East Stand, definitely.
Now to you, the fans. I am truly grateful
Needs to be done.
For the manner in which you have supported both the club and me personally during the last year. Whilst the match versus Southend on March the 9th, 2019 was the homecoming, the first match of the season on August 3rd versus Bristol Rovers felt like my homecoming. I've never had the temerity to imagine that my name would be sung at Bloomfield Road, but to have that happen and to be referred to as one of our own is truly beyond my wildest dreams. After over 20 years working abroad, I truly feel that I've been welcomed back to my hometown. But it's not about me, it's about us and our love and support for our town and our club. That day in August was the beginning of a new era for us all, and I relish the prospect of leading us forward as club custodian. Please rest assured that while mistakes will undoubtedly be made along the way, we will continue to make careful and deliberate decisions, which to the greatest extent possible will be in the interests of all stakeholders alike. The outlook for football outside the Premier League is very concerning. We want to plan for the future in the 2020-21 season. That's a mouthful, isn't it? 2020-21. But in all honesty, we are unsure as to exactly what we are planning for. We have no visibility as to when the next season will start, and of course we have no idea when or how you, our fans, will be able to return. I want to back Neil and to invest in the playing squad, but it's very challenging to do so against this uncertain backdrop. Additionally, whilst you can rest assured that I have the immediate wherewithal to ensure that the club will survive this crisis as I currently see it, the pandemic has truly exposed the need for a restructuring in football's finances. I fear that over the coming months, many clubs at our level may just not be able to continue, and quite what that means for us, the season ahead, and for football in the EFL is impossible to predict.
There's going to be some casualties, isn't there, in this? We've been saying this.
In my opinion, for football to emerge largely unscathed from this difficult period, things will surely have to change. However, I strongly believe that we at Blackpool Football Club are on the right path. In order to be successful, all clubs will need to be less reliant on the blunt tool that is money spent on players' wages. It is imperative that more emphasis is placed upon developing your own talent. I believe that the 3 pillars of our future success will be our academy, our recruitment, and our coaching. I'll wrap up by thanking my family, in particular my wife Gillian, for their unwavering support. I took ownership of the club at a point in time when I would otherwise have looked to spend more time with Gillian and my 2 young kids. We've had to make significant adjustments to our family life in order to make room for the club, and I'm grateful for their ongoing patience, support and understanding. I hope that all of you stay safe and well, and I look forward to the day when we can all meet again at Bloomfield Road, up the mighty pool. Simon.
Wow, very interesting. We'll talk about that in one moment. Let's have a quick. We've got to catch up on a few things. Alan Smith, him and his wife were up in North in Blackpool about 2 years ago. Saw 2 pool geezers, Tilton and Angela, handing out pamphlets for new season tickets. And Angela flirted with her missus.
Oh.
Really? Wow. Okay, that's.
That's nice.
Well, that's nice.
That they were doing that.
Yeah, it's nice. The best derby.
I guess there
in
weren't
Europe,
any fans to do it 2 years ago.
The best derby in European football is the Old Firm derby. In my opinion, it's unlike any other. It's not just 2 teams from the same city, but goes deeper than that. Well, it's a very big derby, that's for sure. Rob, who lives up in Scotland, East Kilbride, is saying that an Old Firm derby is high on his bucket list. Right,
I'd be a bit scared of an Old Firm derby.
I must admit, yeah. What do we think of Jerry Yates? We don't know. Which way?
Just up one. Nick says, remember David Linigan, Ipswich and Blackpool. Yes,
we do.
I very much remember David Linigan. I have a story about David Linigan.
Oh.
Are you sitting comfortably? We were playing Coventry in the League Cup when it was 2 legs, and we were at home in the first leg. And it was raining and it was windy and it was a horrible night, and we were there, and it was a terrible match, and it was just like, oh, for goodness sake. But it was the night the illuminations were being switched on. And we were in the south paddock at that time, and we could see the tower behind the Kop. So we just started thinking, well, what time is it coming up to? Is it 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock, I think it was, when they were switching the lights on. So we just started doing a whoa, because we knew the time was coming up, the lights were going to be switched on. And just at the moment that the tower, it was sponsored by Tango at the time, the tower exploded into a sky of tangerine fireworks. Just at we go whoa, and just right at that moment, David Linigan scored a power header, and the goal just in front of us, and like the Coventry fans wouldn't have been able to see the tower, so they were just like, how did they know they were going to score then? It was just the most magical moment ever in football, I think. Wow. For me, it was just, you just can't make stuff like that up. So yes, I do remember David Linigan, and I remember that power header against Coventry.
So so Blackpool Lad TV is asking, what do we think of Jerry Yates? I think it is. Somebody's already mentioned him, haven't they? Is he the lad from Rotherham? Do we say he's the lad from Rotherham? Are we linked with him, Blackpool Lad TV? I think we seem to be linked with this Jerry Yates. I don't know much about.
Yeah, he's the Rotherham one.
Yes, he's Rotherham lad that was scoring for fun, but he was on loan, was he? So somewhere. I think he was on loan.
Swindon.
So I don't know much.
Sunderland are after him.
Oh, well, Sunderland are after him then. Forget that then. We can forget that one.
Rob lives in East Kilbride now, and his missus and all her family are big Rangers fans. Her kids have season tickets and have for years. I'll definitely go one of these days.
Yeah.
Well, have you not been already?
Ryan lives in Hamilton. So Hamilton Academicals would be your local team then, Ryan, would it? Hamilton Academicals.
Mr. Morley says 2 ships collided, one carrying blue paint, the other carrying red. All passengers and crew were maroon.
Oh, Mr. Morley, your jokes just get better and better.
Are you on the strong IPA again, Mr. Morley?
Yeah, well, that's right. David Scholes is just going on about Sadler's statement. It's quite an incredible statement, actually. It's very heartfelt. I thought it was very genuine. I thought a lot of what he said I agree with in many ways. I agree with the fact that football's got to change. It can't just be keep spending fortunes and fortunes on players' wages. You've got to bring these kids through, and you've got to coach players, integrate players, and they've got to want to play for the badge. And if the Blackpool way is an entertaining way, because Blackpool is an entertaining town. That's what we are built on entertainment. I agree with all that. I never thought about the fact that he's got some young children, and of course he's sacrificing quite a bit of family life to own Blackpool, and I understood his sort of his apologies to his family, really, that he's obviously taking this on. I think he has brought in a good team. I think ever since what's he called, the chief executive called, what's he called? Ben Mansford, yeah. Well, ever since he came aboard, we went to pieces. We've never played well, really, since he came on board. He was like the beginning of the start of the rot. So far, maybe that's just a coincidence. I don't know, but he doesn't seem to have done much, Ben Mansford, to the way we were winning. But I think they've done lots of improvements to the ground. We can all see that already. The club shop is amazing. The painting and things that are going on around the ground, they've got rid of all the old rusty things.
Flags up as well.
All the flags up at the back of the North Stand. Yeah, they've got rid of all the rusty old spots for the cameras. All those have gone, and it's generally been spruced up. Obviously, the pitch. They've done a lot of work on the pitch. And I know there's definitely plans, as you say, for a training ground. And, he's talking about the Revo area and it being improved around there. And there, we're in that Revo area and back Henry Street and all that. It could all do with going, really. It's all grotty, isn't it, round the back of there?
Dan says he's got a good chant for Hardy next season. Go on. What's your chant? James says, thank you for reading the statement out. We're so lucky to have Mr. Sadler. Yeah, we are. He's got good PR. I'll give him that. He's got good PR. Sandra and Aid, afternoon all. Wonder what was going on, Jane, reading away. You guys not wearing footy shirts? No, we've run out and it's too hot. I thought someone had died, been flitting between Bundesliga matches. How's that going? Is it? Yeah. What are they doing? Are they piping crowd noise in? How's it looking? How's it sounding? Are you getting used to it? Mr. Moley, personally, I would give Old Firm games a wide berth. Sectarian hatred leaves me cold. Yeah, agreed. Ryan, Jane, don't be scared. Nothing would happen to you in the ground. If you stick within certain places afterwards, you would avoid trouble. Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, you got to know where those places are. So as long as you look after us, Ryan, when we're up there, that'll be fine.
Rob says, I remember that Linnigan story. Well, absolute perfect timing. Yeah, it was brilliant. Ryan, Mr. Moley, that's just a media conception. It's a lot better than people know, less trouble than they used to be. Yeah, I can imagine the media build things up.
Well, there's not as much trouble in football as there used to be. Full stop, is there really? It's kind of moved on quite a lot from from how it was back in the terrible days of the 80s, and
David Linnigan's a carpenter now, apparently. Like Jesus.
Do we remember Richard Walker's 20-yard bullet header in injury time in front of the South Paddock against? Yes, we do.
And I was 40 yards. It was 40 yards.
It was right on the edge of the box, from the edge of the box in, and it was great because
it was 40 yards at the time. It must be at least 60 by now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Plymouth came down that day, and they just spoiled from the minute they kicked off. They were going down injured. They were wasting time, bringing trainers on, everything they could. 3 people would take a throw in. They were doing everything to waste time.
Was that a midweek game as well?
Yeah, it was, and it was late in injury time, and lots of people had gone, but honestly, when it went in, it was just magic. You'll never forget it. Never, ever forget it.
Yeah, agree. Excellent statement that from Simon Sadler. Says, Rob, the club must have cost him an absolute fortune since he took over. Bad timing for him, maybe, but just in the nick of time for us. Great chairman. Yeah, definitely. Must have cost him a fortune so far. But arguably, if this the wages settle down a bit, then maybe, arguably it could be a good time going forward. Hopefully if the costs come down, which they're going to have to. Really.
I always think though with these things where clubs cost a fortune and stuff, it all depends on how much money he makes. I mean, we don't know much about, obviously, I don't know anything about hedge funds, to be honest, and what he actually turns over, but I'm sure losses are just offset against profits, aren't they? I mean, for these big corporations, they just they don't feel it really if they're big enough.
Ryan says his local team is Motherwell. He's from a place called Wishaw. He's
Motherwell.
From
Right, okay.
And Mr. Moley sober as a judge. Apparently, yeah, me too. I bought a couple of bottles of beer actually. Went to Booths yesterday, and they've got a great beer range in there. So I did sneak a blueberry stout in yesterday. I haven't drunk it yet, but sort of building up my bottled beer collection without tapping into it yet. But I will. Actually, we've been watching a couple of gigs. We were watching a gig last night. Watched Duke Special, who's one of my favourite artists online. David Ford's on again tomorrow night, so I'm thinking maybe that's quite nice. You know, you'd normally have a drink at a gig, wouldn't you? Maybe have a drink while I'm watching the gigs going forward. We'll see.
There's a few artists, isn't there, are doing these live streams now. It seems to be like a thing where they're doing live stream concerts from the garages and all this sort of stuff. So they're getting creative with it, which is quite.
It's nice actually watching a gig in your living room. You know, we've got a nice big screen here to watch the gigs on, and it's almost in a way better than being there because you get the intimacy. You feel like you've got the intimacy with the artist, and you can hear them very well. There's no one standing in your way, and you know, you don't have to worry about rushing for your last train home afterwards. So it's good. I think it's possibly the future. I mean, sadly, they are talking about maybe 50% of music venues will not be reopening after this. But you know, in a way for the artist, if they can get into people's living rooms and people actually don't have to make the effort to go, you know, to the venues, then they could make more money out of that just doing it from their living rooms, couldn't they? Yeah. Instead of paying the venues and. Yeah,
it's certainly things have certainly changed, haven't they? And people have, you know, things have adapted, haven't they? I mean, we've watched all sorts of music things, haven't we? We watched the Eurovision, and that was actually brilliant.
Yeah, that was really good.
I don't normally watch.
We've got the Wiz tonight on The Shows Must Go On YouTube.
Oh, the Wiz,
well.
we've got that to watch tonight.
So, very interesting.
Ian Arson, he read an article this week about championship teams spending more on wages than they can afford. Well, we all kind of know, you know, we know that big mess in the championship. It's crazy. I mean, I think, you know, we were talking a few weeks ago about Preston. I think they've spent about 18 million or something, haven't they, over in debt to try and get out of this league this year. So if they fail.
The thing is, Blackpool demonstrated you don't actually have to spend that much money to get into the Premier League.
No,
really.
No, you don't.
Ednam says it's a wonderful statement by Simon Sadler, and he has a supportive wife and family behind him. Behind every successful man, there's always a good woman. Yes, that's right, isn't it, Lee? Congratulations on getting to the Football Content Award finals.
This is absolutely true. If it hadn't been for Jane helping, I don't think we'd have ever got there. So praise to Jane. I'll let her go and get the award for me. I'll just film her going up for it. Phone a Blackpool Chippy when I last visited. I said, do you deliver? He said, no, we do lamb, chicken and fish. Phone down.
You see what you're starting, Mr. Moley, now?
Yes, it's on the same level as Mr. Moley. Do you deliver? Yes.
Ryan says, of course, I will look after you both. Lee will make sure you both have a great time and enjoy some fantastic Rangers hospitality. Oh,
yes, we're looking forward to it.
Tangerine Aid says appears to be piped in sound in Bundesliga matches. Each match sounds the same, better than silence. Crowd cheer when goals go in. It's an improvement atmosphere wise.
All right, we'll have to have a look at. We'll catch some of the goals on YouTube and see what it's like where you hear crowd noise but no crowd. It must be. I should imagine it is better. It's a bit like a comedy show without
laughter on comedy.
Yeah, it's like canned laughter, isn't it? You know, it does help. You know, it does help sometimes to make.
Mind you, that'd be sort of like the equivalent of going to a comedy night and having canned laughter in there instead of I don't know, it's weird. Mr. Merlin says, Ryan, could I walk into a boozer in how do you pronounce that? Is it Govan? In a Celtic top and just expect some mild banter? If no, it's not for me. Alan Smith, everywhere Millwall go, locals come out for us. Lee, old Bill joining as well. Our away days are crazy. West Midlands, old Bill, the worst. Yeah. I've been reading actually that Stoke book I've just read. They were saying it sounded awful actually about how the Stoke fans were treated and how to get tickets to an away game they had to join this scheme where they had to provide the passport, driving license, 2 utility bills, a birth certificate for a child, and just to give all this to get this membership card to be able to buy tickets to away matches. It was just it was pretty bad.
Mr. Muller says gigs aren't great fun when you're 5'2".
No, indeed, I am 5'2". I have to fight my way to the front. I've got quite sharp elbows now.
You're not allowed to wear football tops in pubs in Scotland, in Glasgow. Well, so I should imagine that would solve a bit of the problem, wouldn't it? If everyone's going around in colours, it's not if there's RG
I
Bar.
don't wear shirts so often these days. Ryan says, you know what I've been watching? Have you ever heard of a country singer called Garth Brooks? He's got a documentary called The Road. I'm on a great documentary.
Oh, I have heard of Garth Brooks, yeah. Yep, I have.
Oh, right.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
What's that on? Is that on regular TV, Netflix, Amazon Prime?
Well, we've been watching on Netflix. We've been watching. We've started series 3, Money Heist.
We have,
which is quite stressful. Every episode's quite stressful. It's just high drama, and we do enjoy it very much. But it's just like you just need a rest after you watched it.
We had a look at that space thing, didn't we?
Space Force.
Space Force.
What's his name? Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
It was a bit daft. It wasn't as funny as Big Bang.
It was just daft. It was just. Okay, it was just daft. I can't be doing with like silly comedies. I don't know. It just seems stupid to me.
Clitheroe says, what did you both think of Big Dave Bamber as a player? I never really hear his name mentioned over the years. Do you think he's divided opinion? Are you lazy or a good target man? I thought he did a good job. Well, interestingly, I mean, I loved him. When we were discussing Nangele before, I said he was my favourite big striker since Dave Bamber, because no one's come close to Dave Bamber for me. You know, when I first started,
goals did he score?
He scored 40 goals in the 91-92
40
season.
Goals.
So
he was a great striker.
No one's come even close. That includes like playoffs and cup games. But I loved him, absolutely loved him. I know he had some great service from David Ayres and Tony Rodwell, didn't he? But he was. No one's come even close to get that many goals. Nobody's got that many goals since.
He'll always be remembered for his penalty miss in the playoff finals, but I remember him.
He
remember
redeemed
him
himself for the 40 seasons after.
Well, he redeemed himself in the next final. He was amazing, and one of my memories actually of the Scunthorpe final was Dave Bamber. He was like on the railings, and he had his shirt, and he was actually on the gone onto the railings when that penalty went over, and he was just so lean. He was like so thin. He was waving his shirt over, and he threw his shirt into the crowd. And I could just see him now, just like it was like a year's pain just gone out of Dave Bamber, and I remember him for that. And his young boy was in the same class as Alexander, so I got to know him as a parent as well. He's a great guy, Dave Bamber.
Yeah, but interestingly, he used to live in Walsall, and the Walsall fans absolutely hated Dave Bamber. They thought he was terrible. It just didn't work there. I think some players, they just click at certain clubs, don't they?
Yeah.
He had 2 great spells with
Blackpool.
I love Dave Bamber.
I love Dave Bamber.
And don't forget, when he got those 40 goals, I mean, how old was he? Was he about 35 at that time? So incredible. Yeah, I love Dave Bamber. It's on Netflix, says Ryan. Been a difficult week for me, guys. Thanks for cheering us up. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to bring joy.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
If we can. I'm sorry you've had a bad week.
Yeah. We've been watching lots of Netflix. We've loved Lost in Space. It's just amazing. Lost in Space is so good, especially series 2.
Oh, it's really, really good. Season 2 is just incredible.
It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. It makes you want to watch more sci-fi, and we're struggling to find
something else to get
sci-fi.
Into. Oh, there's that German thing, wasn't there?
Yeah, but they're also like scary things, aren't they? There's nothing's like a Star Trek or
Bryce, state of mind. I only saw Bamber in his second spell with us. He was brilliant. I remember him playing with any injury later on in the season against Hereford. With an injury later on in the season against Hereford, scored a goal, helped us get to the playoffs. Yeah,
he was a great player.
Millwall Smithy says, Jane, you've got sharp elbows. You're wearing Millwall blue. Welcome to the family, gal. Yeah, thank you. Rob again says there was down a little bit too far. There was that horrible penalty miss in the playoff final, but I'll forgive him for everything he did during the season. Yeah, absolutely. They say 40 goals. What else could he do to redeem himself? We got there in the end, didn't we? And I wasn't there at the playoff final in 1990-91, so at least I got to see us win. It was funny, I remember, because it went to penalties again. Obviously, we lost on penalties in 1991 that I hadn't been at because I was too young to go on my own. 91, 92 I went, and it went to penalties again, and there was so many people around us just turned around and just couldn't watch the penalties.
Who was the player that ballooned it over the bar for?
Jason White.
Jason White, that's it. Yeah.
Graham Alexander had his saved, and Jason White.
When that ball went over the bar, it was it was such a joy.
Wonderful, yeah. Ryan says, and even though you're not allowed football tops on, you need to know which pubs to go to and which to avoid. That's the same everywhere, really, isn't it? That's why the Loudon Tavern just behind the ground is the best, as it's full of blue noses.
Yeah.
David says, talking Scotland, watching Outlander, daft story but very watchable.
Oh, we've not watched that, have we? What's Outlander? Is that on Netflix?
Let's have a look at that. Tell us about it. What is Outlander? What's it like?
Remember Highlander? What's Sean Connery or something?
Bamber was very good as a young lad the first time round, gutted when he left for Coventry. Yeah, I don't remember the first time round. Bamber, the 91-92 season video was like 20 plus instant replays.
Oh.
Dan, just imagine the North Stand bouncing to Hardy's on fire. Oh, yeah. Your defence is terrified. Hardy's on fire. Yeah.
Yes. Well, if hopefully he's on fire for us, as he was for Plymouth, because he's got them up basically.
We've got this
hasn't
new
he?
manager who's going to develop players. So.
They loved him there, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember watching a video and they were interviewing people before the game, and they're all saying, "Who do you think's going to score today?" And they were all like, "Oh, Ryan Hardy will score," and they were all like really, really loving him down there. So I actually thought he looked all right up here, to be honest. In the little bit we saw of him, he looked a decent player, I thought. Kind of remind, he had a very, very lovely run. When he ran, he was very smooth. He looked very smooth going over, and that ball he just caressed into the net in the Carabao Cup.
Caressed into the net.
Yeah, he did. It was beautiful. It was a pure striker's goal. That goal against was it the Carabao Cup or the leasing.com? It was one of them two. He scored in either the Carabao or the leasing.com. But it was a brilliant goal.
Ryan says, even though I'm too young to remember him because of Jane's Away Day video, I've been going about the house singing We All Live in a David Bamber World.
Yeah, a Dave Bamber.
A number one
View.
is Dave Bamber. A number two is Dave Bamber. A number three is Dave Bamber. Mr. Moley views on Tony Ellis. Was so happy when he signed and he was class, but I'm not sure his heart was ever really with us. Yeah, I was pleased because it pissed Preston off, didn't it? He was a legend at Preston, so that was good. He good. He did a job. He scored a lot of goals. He got rid of the tash, which was great. So that was we like Tony Ellis. Andy Watson though, Andy Watson superstar. He was great. He got a lot of goals. Andy Watson, I liked him a lot. I don't remember Tony Ellis being a particular favourite.
Of course, we bought Andy Watson, didn't we? The fans bought him, didn't they? We all
I actually saw
together.
him in Darlaston Library in Walsall the one time.
Angela's going to West Ham.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's a big move, isn't it? If he's going to West Ham.
I'm not sure they'd have a lot of patience with him there.
No. Will Fleetwood make promotion? Well, they've got a chance.
We have our thoughts on that, don't we?
You can't say, you can't rule them out because they're a plucky little side, aren't they? They're plucky. They punch above the weight.
Yeah, Ryan says if you want a glimpse of what the old firm is like, go on YouTube and type in singing I'm Not a Billy, He's a Tim. It's a Scottish play about two guys, one Rangers, one Celtic, in a jail cell comedy play. Oh, that sounds really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that, definitely. Rob says, I never really warmed to him. He got too many goals for PNE, but he scored some. This is Tony Ellis, but he scored some crackers for us. Bradford away in the playoffs stands out. Probably too soon to talk about that particular playoff. Yes, it is too soon. 24 years
I used to like the way that Tony Ellis used to curl him in from the edge of the box. He just used to do that sort of back to
since 1996 now.
Yeah.
It is 24. Yeah, it's still too soon. 24 years later. Yeah, give it another. What's the statute of limitations? Give it 60 years. Is it?
I used to love those curls in the top corner. He just used to curl them in for. He's just like back to goal and then spin round, and you just knew he was going to score. Yeah. He was brilliant at it.
David Scholes, Amazon Prime, Modernish Nurse goes back in time to
Culloden highlights. Oh, a Modernish Nurse goes back into. Oh, it's a time thing. Huh.
Oh, there's quite a few time travel-y things on, isn't there?
There
We're
is,
looking at something else about somebody from World War I in modern day America. We were looking at last night, weren't we? So, and I'll tell you something I've never watched. That one with John Sim, who's from Blackpool, about the police officer that finds himself back in the 1970s.
Oh yeah,
that's meant to be quite good. They've remade that as well with a woman who goes back into the 80s. So that sounds. I can't remember what it's called.
No, I know which one you mean.
It's meant to be good.
They have like an old Ford Capri or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that is. Somebody will tell us in the comments below.
Yeah.
What's that? What's this TV show that we can't think of that was going back in time?
Ryan says going to get some Blackpool merch off the shop sales. Yeah, do it.
Well, it's a good time, isn't it? You can get some bargains, and there was some nice stuff in the shop, wasn't there, this season?
Yeah, I like my body warmer. If they've still got any of
which
those,
featured in Tranmere Away's video, and Jane was raving about it at the start of the video when we were just packing the car away, full of hope that we were going to win that game. And
got my lucky scarf.
Yeah, Jane was blaming the fact she hadn't worn a scarf. We were convinced the scarf was the thing.
Oh, Mr. Moley says, after mentioning the Bradford playoff, I'll need some of your hypnotherapy, Rob.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, don't
have you done a video about that, Rob? Maybe that's a good idea if you can do something to get us over
Ooh,
traumatic matches.
Clitheroe Seaside. A girl I work with is Tony Ellis's ex-girlfriend. Oh, any goss? Do we have any goss then, Clitheroe
What did she
Seaside?
think of the moustache?
Yeah.
Ian says, Jane's knowledge of football is better than that bloke off Double Your Money. It's not really. I just talk about what I know. You notice I just like gloss over quite a lot.
Yeah.
Life on Mars, that's it.
Life on Mars.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that
Thanks,
might be
Ian.
interesting
Yeah,
to
we
watch,
might
actually.
catch that. Where would you catch that up on? That might be on.
It is on something. I have seen it.
iPlayer maybe or something.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I think it might be
on
on BBC.
Was it BBC Life on Mars?
Mr. Murley says, if you like going back in time, come to Burnley.
Yes, we know. We know what Burnley's like. We've been there quite a few times. It is like going back in time. It's unbelievably. It's all like wooden clog streets, isn't it?
But surrounded by some beautiful places like Colne and Clitheroe, which I love very much.
Jane loves it, don't you? What's the name of your little forest that you like up there?
Yeah, the Shoreham Forest in Wycoller. It's beautiful with the little fairies that live in the trees. Tangerine A, plenty of bargains being sold off at BFC as long as you're anorexic.
They only got slim ones.
Well, I'm losing weight, so maybe.
Tangerine Dan once says, Lee, I'm going to send you a picture of my new room when it's ready over Instagram. Is that a new room
is it a Blackpool room?
Is that a new room just for you, or is it a new room that you're going to use on YouTube? Or, well, yeah, definitely send it to me.
Ryan says, they play about sectarianism in Scotland and how it can hurt, but I can go into the ground and say things, but notice. As my missus is a Celtic fan and Catholic, so football doesn't come between us. Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice that your missus is a Celtic fan.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? It must be hard.
Dan says, let's just say my room is the brightest in my house. Oh, gosh, it's sounding very Tangerine then.
Whoa.
Ryan says, and there's Life on Mars about a guy beating up the wrong guy, and does he ever know?
Bowie Joe, he's a Life on Mars.
Yeah, I quite like to watch that.
Talking about the wrong.
Good. Rob says, nice one, Mr. Moley. I do hypnotherapy though, not miracles. She binned him. She binned Tony Ellis. Oh well, you would, wouldn't you? You would. Oh gosh, it's full time. It's 1:45. Any last requests before we
she binned him.
And have a nice lolly because it's freezing.
It's
boiling, rather.
Boiling here. I don't know what you're like, but we've been really struggling. We've got a fan over there. I don't know if you've been able to hear it all the way through, but it's not really doing anything. It's too far. It's too far away. We're very hot. So
they've got to go and sit in the garden with a lolly.
Yes, we're up to full time.
Knit Miracles used to have a nurse at primary school for that. Nitty Nora.
Nitty Nora, yes. Right, well, we'll just take any last questions before we say goodbye for another week.
So
it soon comes around.
Vote for us if you haven't already. Best new content creator in the Football Content Awards. I will try and put a link in to the votey thing.
Liam White is going live with his quiz soon, I think. So Liam White 9, if you want to go and join his quiz. We may get to join in it. We've got to go shopping for some tea.
Let me see if I can post this link to the voting for the Football Content Awards. Yes, there we are. So if you just go to the menu on that link that I've just posted for the best new content creator, select Lee Charles TV from the drop-down menu and vote now.
Alan wants a pint of Guinness and a packet of crisps, please, Lee. Yes, that would be nice. Yeah, a nice cool one.
It's a bit hot for Guinness.
Well, it'd have to be a cold Guinness. What's it called? Guinness.
Smooth flow stuff.
Guinness. There's a name for it, the Guinness cold.
I don't know. Big Bang is on. Yeah, we are. We're just coming up to the end of season 8 of Big Bang now. So.
We are. We've honestly, it's been an amazing journey. We've loved it. We've laughed. So I've laughed sometimes.
Sometimes you can't stop laughing. Can you? You have to pause it because Lee's laughing for about 5 minutes.
I've really gotten stitches with Big Bang. It's been fun. It's been fantastic.
Ian says, as always, an enjoyable afternoon's entertainment. Oh, thank you guys for being part of that entertainment. So.
It wouldn't be entertainment without you. That's absolutely for sure. Without people joining in. So we'd love more and more and more. We're trying to get more and more people to come in. We're going to be, I've been struggling all week. I've been trying to figure out how I can get live calls into this, and we're nearly there. But I've had 3 days of pulling my hair out with it. It's just been a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, but eventually we will be able to get calls in and we can talk to you as well, which is going to be a little bit exciting to get some of you on talking to us.
Thank you. Glad it's nice to be here for you. And thank you for coming in and supporting us. Rob says, thanks, guys. Great show again. Napper's mum, good afternoon, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, you too. And good luck for the playoffs.
Good luck for the playoffs.
Ben's doing great with his interviews.
Yes, he's done some great
interviewing
interviews.
The Fleetwood players.
He's done Fleetwood players, and he's done some great vloggers. There's stuff to come. So if you check out Cod's vlogs, he's got some brilliant interviews on. Really, really, really good. John Stevens, thank you very much. Ednam's still here. It's been a great afternoon today. I look forward to joining you on the quiz on Tuesday evening. Don't forget our quiz. 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, our football quiz. Jane puts in so much work into it, really, you wouldn't believe. And
well, Lee puts more in than me. I write the questions, and then it's over to Lee to put the videos together for the picture rounds and everything.
It does take a bit of time, but it's great. But the questions are all original and done by Jane, so it's a little bit different to any quiz you've probably been in before, but it's purely football quiz. It's
Ryan says, think I've voted about 4 times. Genuinely love you both and don't mean 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. Lol, don't get me started on TV banning shows. Alan says, love you guys, great afternoon, God bless, take care, geezers, really enjoyed it. I'll try and make Tuesday night quiz if I'm not working. It'd be great to have you here. Mr. Moley, thanks to you both and the watching crew, great fun. And Ian says you're the catalyst, so we're the catalyst for bringing joy into your afternoons. That's a nice thing.
Alan Smith loves Alan. Honestly, you are our adopted Millwall fan. In fact, I had a message from a Millwall vlogger, and I was asking if he knew of you, because I think he might be up in the Football Content Awards, but he said he didn't know you, but he'd take a look out for you, and he's going to try and make Tuesday night quiz. Brilliant.
So great. So vote, and we'll see you on Tuesday, and have a little look at my my.
What?
I'm trying to figure out how to point to the little socials down here.
Yes.
Follow us on the social media.
At Progress 1887.
The fanzine Twitter account there. There's follow Lee, follow me. Go to my website, follow us on Instagram. We're everywhere. So we'll see you on Tuesday for the quiz.
Bye, Ian. Bye, everyone.
Have a good week.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Molly said thanks to the watching crew. I like that sound. That's all you people in the watching crew. Thank you very much for watching and making it all special. And if you're watching this on the rerun, thank you very much for watching it later on.
I'll see you next week.
And goodbye to Philippines, Australia, and see you all next week. We'll say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.